She cringed, cowering down to the dirty street. The creature leaped over her. She looked up in shock as the creature slammed its weapon into one of the others as it arrived. Vivenna blinked her eyes clear, and only then did she recognize the newcomer. Not Dent, not Tong Fa. A creature with skin as gray as that of those attacking her, which was why she hadn't recognized him at first. Claude. He expertly took off the head of his first opponent, wielding his thick-bladed sword. Something clear sprayed from the neck of the beheaded creature as it fell backward, tumbling to the ground. Dead, apparently, as any man would have been. Claude blocked an attack from the remaining lifeless guard. Behind, in the mouth of the alleyway, 2 more appeared. They charged as Claude backed up, firmly planting a foot on either side of Vivenna, his sword held before him. It dripped clear liquid. The remaining lifeless guard waited for the other 2 to approach. Vivenna trembled, too tired, too numb to flee. She glanced upward and saw something almost human in Claude's eyes as he raised his sword against the 3. It was the first emotion she'd seen in any lifeless, though she might have imagined it. Determination. The 3 attacked. She had assumed, in her ignorance back in Idris, that lifeless were like decaying skeletons or corpses. She'd imagined them attacking in waves, lacking skill but having relentless dark power. She'd been wrong. These creatures moved with proficiency and coordination, just as a human might. Except there was no speaking, no yelling or grunting, only silence as Claude fended off one attack, then rammed his elbow into the face of a second lifeless. He moved with a dazzling fluidity she had rarely seen, his skill matching the brief moment of dazzling speed that Dent had displayed in the restaurant. Claude whipped his sword around and took the 3rd lifeless in the leg. One of the others, however, rammed his blade through Claude's stomach. Something clear squirted out both sides, spraying Vivenna. Claude didn't even grunt as he brought his weapon around and took off his second head. The lifeless guards died, falling to the ground and leaving his weapon sticking from Claude's stomach. One of the other guards stumbled away, its leg bleeding clear fluid, and then it fell backward to the ground too. Claude efficiently turned his attention to the last standing lifeless, which did not retreat, but took an obviously defensive stance. The stance didn't work. Claude took this last one down in a matter of seconds, slamming his sword repeatedly against that of his opponent before spinning it around in an unexpected motion and taking off his enemy's sword hand. That was followed by a blow to the stomach, dropping the creature. In a final motion, he efficiently rammed his blade through the neck of another fallen lifeless, stopping it from crawling toward Vivenna, a knife in its hand. The alleyway fell still. Claude turned toward her, eyes lacking emotion, square jaw and rectangular face set above a thick, muscled neck. He began to twitch. He shook his head as if trying to clear his vision. An awful lot of colorless liquid was pouring from his torso. He placed one hand against the wall, then slumped to his knees. Vivenna hesitated, then reached out a hand toward him. Her palm fell on his arm. The skin was cold. A shadow moved on the other side of the alleyway. She looked up, apprehensive, still in shock.
Oh, colors! Death! She's here!
Tong Fa ran forward, his outfit wet with the fluid. He knelt down beside Vivenna.
You okay?
She nodded dully, only barely aware that she was still holding her skirt in one hand. That meant her legs, to right above her knees, were exposed. She couldn't find it in her to care, nor did she care that her hair was bleached white. She just stared at Claude, who knelt before her, head bowed as if worshipping at some strange altar. His weapon slipped from his twitching fingers. His eyes stared forward, glassy. Tong Fa followed her gaze, looking at Claude.
Yeah, Jules is not going to be pleased. Come on, we need to get out of here.